Hey VCers, Tony back. Tony's LPs are us. Today, I just have a little fun segment I'm going to do. I'm going to show a few of my albums that have Irish roots or that the bands are from Ireland. A lot of course, a lot of UK bands, have Irish roots. The members of the band have Irish ancestry, and I'm going to go into that a little bit. Just going to show a couple. You could do hundreds. And there's a few bands that are renowned for being Irish, and as you know, I'm not going to show a lot that I don't have, such as the Cores. I was looking for some of my Imelda May albums, which are scattered about. Imelda May is a great Irish performer, and she has that Irish brogue. It's just so fascinating and so interesting for me to hear that. So today I'm going to show a few, and I'll talk about some of the albums real quick. So without further ado, happy St. Patrick's Day weekend. St. Patrick's is this Sunday on the 17th of March, 2024. And I just want to, before I start, thank everyone for subbing. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It really helps us out. It really helps us out with the that YouTube algorithm, whatever that means. And if you wish, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'm going to start off with John Lennon's one of John Lennon's solo albums. John Lennon had Irish roots, as did Paul, and as did George. And I'm going to show a few of those. And I remember back in the high school days, I had some good friends, the Farley brothers. If you're out there, have a great and safe St. Patrick's Day. So we used to gather around, drink beer, and sing Beatles songs with the guitars. They're very good acoustic guitar players. And we used to go through the Beatle catalog, and we used to drink our beer. Not that we needed an excuse to drink beer, but to St. Patrick's Day always lent to that compulsion, if I may. So I'm just going to go over a few quick titles. Some of these actually have some of the Beatle records that I picked out. I think have Irish songs attached to them. I know that John Lennon does, and that's Sometime in New York City. Great double album. If you don't have this, pick it up. It's one of my favorite Beatles solo records, and this has on it, as you can see, The Luck of the Irish, John Sinclair, Sunday, Bloody Sunday, all tribute and about Irish affairs, especially John Sinclair, The Luck of the Irish, just a great record. This was recorded November of 72. And there's a gatefold. So John Lennon, great Irishman, Irish roots. And George Harrison had Irish roots as well. One of my favorites. This is produced by Jeff Lynne and George. Cloud Nine. This was a big, kind of a comeback record for George. Cloud Nine was a big hit. That's What It Takes. And also When We Was Fab is on this record. Great Irish roots. And of course, I had to put this guy in. The late, great JFK. This is a record of his speeches, which is pretty cool. This record's in pretty good condition considering its age. So here you have excerpts from great speeches. He's not a rocker, but he did rock out. He did have friendships with Sinatra, a lot of the stars of the day, Sammy Davis, Dean Martin, the Rat Pack. And that's that. And then, like I said, I pulled this out, Wings' Greatest Hits. And this has With a Little Luck on it and Mull of Kintyre. And I believe I have the single somewhere, Give Ireland Back to the Irish. And this is signed by Denny Laine. Denny Laine's Scottish, not Irish. And here's the stuff here. This album came with a poster. I'm just going to show you that. some of the artwork that's on the record. It's a double-sided poster. You can see that. I'm just moving it around. And let me show you the other side. 2 for 1. And I believe this poster, as I know, the jacket was designed by Hypnosis. And we did a video on Hypnosis, which I'll put in the description if you want to look at that. Here's the inner. So with a little luck, Mull of Kintyre was up to that point the biggest selling single in UK history. And then I believe A Candle in the Wind, Elton John's tribute to Princess Grace. Was it Princess Diana? Princess Diana's death, Candle in the Wind. I believe that overtook Mull of Kintyre as a single. But Mull of Kintyre, with the bagpipes and just that whole vibe, it's just amazing. And I have it on this album, which is the greatest hits. But if you have the single, the 45 single, it's a picture sleeve, which I'll show later, not today, in another video. But the 45, it's 90% more dynamic than the one on the album. And unfortunately, Mull of Kintyre is the last track on side 2, I believe. So you get that tracking error from the last track all the way into the dead wax. But the 45 is mind-boggling. The 45 just fills the whole soundstage in a whole room with bagpipes and fifes and flutes and whatever Irish acoustic instruments Paul used. Here we have a person of Irish ancestry, the great David Bowie. And I pulled this because this isn't shown too much. This is a great album. I like it. It's kind of mellow. This has a God Only Knows cover, the Beach Boys God Only Knows cover, which is really, really beautiful. And of course, Blue Jean was the hit. This has the hype on the shrink, and this record store was our competitor when I worked at my record store, Vogel's Records. I used to go in. My job was to go in and find the prices of the specials and tell my boss, and we would put them down a quarter cheaper, and that whole fun competitiveness that was there with a mom and pop store. Here we have a great rocker, Rory Gallagher, great Irish rocker, and this is a pretty good album. He really jams on this. And here's the back. It's just I'll just show you the label. Beautiful. As you can see, that's really nice, clean. And then we have a band from Ireland that's pretty obscure in the U.S. I'm not sure if they're still around, but this is a cutout, Horselips. And this is from '78, I believe, produced by Steve Gatz. And ironically, it's called The Man Who Built America. This has a custom jacket, inner. And if I look at these names on here, they're all Irish names. O'Darum, O'Connor, Moore, Mackenzie, Graham, Delvin, Carr. And without, I don't know if I mentioned before, but one of the great Irish bands too, most popular in the UK, not so much here, are the Corrs. And I don't have Corrs albums. I do have Corrs on CD, which I didn't pull, but they deserve a mention as a great Irish band. So, and once again, I want to just take a pause and thank everybody. And if you can subscribe, please do so. I don't even know if a subscribe button comes up on my videos. I don't really do a lot of customizing to when I tape them. But if there's a button there on your phone or on your tablet or PC or whatever, please do so. Here's a great Irishman who's a nut, the great late Ginger Baker, and this is Baker Gurvitz Band. This is a great band, pretty good rocker. This is on Janus Records. So Ginger Baker from Cream. And here's a Ginger Baker solo, which is one of my favorite Ginger Baker solos. This is a great African, basically African rhythms highlighted album, Kutu, Fila Ransom. Right there, you can see him there talking to Ginger. Ginger actually lived in Africa for a while, and I believe he may have married an African young lady. Here's another band that's from Ireland, and then I'll let you forget it, the Boomtown Rats. Beautiful record here. This is on Ensign. This is actually a import. I picked this up. Really nice laminated jacket. And comes with a custom inner. And you have Geldof, the great philanthropist, great rocker. And I believe he was also in the Pink Floyd movie. One of the maybe the movie of The Wall, I'm not sure, but he's around. And here's a beautiful label from Ensign Records. There. And here we have, of course, couldn't be without for St. Patrick's Day again. This is if you're just tuning in the middle, like after commercial break, just doing a little tribute to some Irish rockers, some Irish bands that are originated from Ireland, and some people who were of Irish ancestry, like Paul McCartney, John Lennon, George Harrison, things like that. And here we have the great, still kicking, still rocking, Van the Man Morrison. And of course, he had the band Them, which was an Irish band. This is his 2-record recorded live in Los Angeles and London. It's a nice trifold jacket right there. And this is a cool record. This has bunch of his hits. This was actually a Wally Hyder's remote truck from California, the great Wally. If you see Wally, mastered by capital Wally, that's a sign of engineering supremacy, if I may. It's just a great sounding record. So just for instance, there's the Knack, the first Meet the Knack, or the first Knack album. The Wally, mastered by capital Wally stamp. It's been printed it's been pressed so many times, but I guess the first ones are Wally, and they just sound spectacular. The records sound spectacular anyway. They may be Irish, I'm not sure. Of course, we can't go without Thin Lizzy as being originated, and their home base was Ireland. And then you have and of course it's the Phil Lennox. That's what you think of when you think of Thin Lizzy. And the number 1 and number 2, probably the 2 or 3 number bands from Ireland of renown. And this is a great album. I put this on one of my other videos. I was really happy to get this. Here's the inner, and there's Paul. But this has a great tribute to Elvis Presley. And by the way, Elvis is right here. Elvis has Irish roots, so Elvis is part of this. I didn't pull out any Elvis records, but he's right here hanging with me, and Elvis has Irish roots. That was confirmed a few years ago. They found records. His grandparents came over. So A King's Call, Phil Lennox. That's an unbelievable record, unbelievable sounding record. It's haunting. The late great Phil Lennox. And here's probably their number 1 album as far as hits: Jailbreak, The boys are back in town. Emerald. That's Irish, right? Emerald. Great Mercury pressing. And of course, we're going to conclude with, when you look up Irish bands, the number one Irish band is obviously U2. And as U2 are still kicking it. They just performed a block of concerts at the Sphere in Las Vegas. That it's all on YouTube. Probably the whole concert's on YouTube. I wish they would release that concert with a nice surround 5.1 sound on a Blu-ray or 4K. And here's the gatefold. This is a great record. Some really great stuff in here. The Edge, Bono, Adam Clayton, Larry Mullen. If you didn't see this movie, check it out. They actually go to Graceland. They actually pay tribute to the King. So that's it. A few Irish artists, Irish records, and like I said, I didn't pull out the Imelda May, didn't pull out my cores. Sinead O'Connor, I don't have any albums by her. Do have a few CDs. She just passed away not too long ago. So there you have it. Have a safe St. Patrick's Day. Don't drink too much. Get that Guinness. Get that corned beef and cabbage. And let's all be Irish for a few days. And I hope you all have the luck of the Irish. So thanks a lot. Like I said, please subscribe if you can. We really appreciate it. And keep rocking, keep trucking. And we'll see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.